because usually I don't speak without music behind me. So please just bear with me. My fondest memory of Granny Grace was back in 2003. So that's 20 years from this year. We're getting old. I remember back at the house in Bryanston, Grandma and Grandpa's, I was visiting with some friends of mine. I was in a rap group back then. We were doing a rehearsal for a talent show that we were performing that evening. And Grandma and Grandpa, Grandma K and Grandpa ABC, Augustus Butana Chan, they were still alive those days. I always liked that name, ABC. It always reminded me of like an OG. Like, don't mess with me, I'm gonna call ABC. So we were doing a rehearsal, preparing for the talent show, and in pure Granny Grace fashion, she showed up out the blue. And she came in and watched my friends and I, and we were supposed to be rehearsing, but we weren't rehearsing. We were just messing around. And she came, she was like, "What are you guys doing inside?" We were like, "Ah, we're rehearsing." She's like, "Oh, you're rehearsing?" It's like, "Yeah, show me what you're doing. Rehearse for me." Okay, so my friends and I, we stood up, we performed. She looked at us and she said, no, outside. You guys are in the house outside. Outside and run around the house." Okay. We hit a lap around the house. We came back, she said, "Drop down 10 push-ups all around." Now I'm a big guy. 10 push-ups feels like 100 for me. I think we did the 10 push-ups. I think I stopped at 4. I looked around, everybody was done. I'm like, "Yeah, I'm done." And then she said, "Perform again." We performed again. She looked, she said, "Perform again." We performed, "Perform again." I think we did that song 10 times where my friends turned around and said, "I'm a man, we're never coming back to your place ever again." At that moment, I was still young. I didn't really understand why she was making us drill the performance in our heads. But years later, it hit me that actually Granny Grace was a perfectionist. Everything she did, she wanted it to be done to perfection. Not a single crease must be out of line. Everything must be perfect. And of which case, years later, that's how I am with my music, a perfectionist. Granny Grace was also an artist, if you didn't know. And by artist, I don't mean musician, I mean she could draw. She could draw. I mean, Granny Grace also was a prophet. Oh yes. In fact, my last few days with her, she prophesied over me. I'm pretty sure she prophesied over everyone. Yeah. In concluding, because I don't want to be too long. They said 2 minutes. Some of the things I learned from Granny Grace, I think the best thing is ask for forgiveness, not for permission. Do something without permission. But if you get in trouble, ask for forgiveness. Granny Grace loved tea, Banna.
Yes, yo.
She loved tea. In fact, when Granny Grace would pull up on you, you knew that you were making tea all day, all night.
The whole day.
And I always used to see her sip tea in a saucer. I never understood why she would sip tea in a saucer. I thought, does the saucer help with flavor or something? In fact, Granny Grace loved tea so much. I think I made so much tea for her that I used to joke when people ask, what do I do? I said, I work for 5 Roses. But they want to fire me because they say I'm taking too many tea breaks. Yes, that's a joke. You can laugh. You can laugh. Granny Grace, we love you. Brother Saul, I just want to say, man, thank you for sharing your mother with us. You know, your mother was a person who loved everyone, had a lot of children. She would ride or die for the people that she loved and supported. And it's hard sometimes when you have a parent who shares themselves with everybody else. But thank you so much, man. We love your mother, and we love you. Thank you. Oh, I'm getting a clap. Thank you, thank you.
Thank you so much, Kelly. Can we just switch off the lights as we're gonna play the slideshow?